Hello guys, today I want to talk to you about some quality of life that we could suggest to the developers. And right off the gate, the first thing I want to start with is all of these daily things you need to check just so you don't have to deal with the box every time. For example, one is when you're teleporting. Now I've already done this today, but every time you log in after every reset, you need to check that one. Like, yeah, if I click here, I want it to get teleported, and then it's like you need to confirm that you really want to be teleported or skip it. Please just give us a permanent option for that. Same thing goes with all of these. Are you sure you want to spend diamonds, for example? We need to click that, and it's for 7 days. Same goes with AFK progress stuff. In here, you need to click that, and they're like, are you sure you want to use it now? Like, give us an option. Like, put it in settings or something. Like, put it in here in like somewhere in the settings. You could have a menu like this, but with skips or skippable things. You either put on or off, just like these messages. But instead, it could be like, do you want to skip dialogue in the game? Yes. Do you want to skip confirmation for diamonds? Yes. Do you want to skip the instant AFK rewards pop-up? Yes. And so on for all the different things that you need, because it's getting a bit annoying for every day having to confirm this stuff over and over. Just give us that quality of life. And that's just one of the examples. Just give us some options where we can turn that off and turn it back on if needed. The second thing I want to jump into is actually Dream Realm. I don't know how it is with you guys, but sometimes, always, I do all my 20 attempts. And sometimes I can't remember some of the lineups I've done. For example, when you try a lineup that's really good, it's not always that you want to share it with other people. Because remember, this is competitive. I don't mind sharing it. But usually, I go in. I also go into recommended formations. And I copy one of these. Because, oh, I'm looking at I have all these heroes, sure, I can copy it. They actually had one of those dialogues. Here. This is what I meant earlier. Give us an option to always turn these off. And sometimes you experiment with lineups. And sometimes you find lineups that's better. I was thinking more about the beginning of the next season, perhaps. Like we already have the ability to share our lineups with everyone else. And then you have formations here where you have shared your best lineups. But if you find something new, where you as maybe a low spender or free-to-play player could rise up in the ranks and get higher ranks, you don't want to share that with others. Maybe you will share it with other people in like Discord, because then it doesn't affect you as much. But if you share that information in the district, other people can copy that and so on. So why I'm bringing this up is that in here they could also just bring up another and be like your saved lineups. So when I do an attempt here, after that they can pop up. Like after I've done all this, look for entire fight, they can have a pop-up just like the one with when you do a new record. The pop-up could be like, do you want to save this lineup for the future but not share it? And if you hit yes, then it could just save it in another like menu where you can go in and be like, what have I tried in the past? What did I try last time Necrodracon was here, for example? What did I try? What worked? What dealt a lot of damage? And then you can also compare with like different artifacts and not needing to have spreadsheets. And this time I got a new record. So here is the public one where you can share your formations with other players. Give me an option just like this, but let me save it privately. So now it will show up in here because I've shared it. But let me have another one where I can just save lineups that I've done myself, where I want to try out in the future or experiment. So Or also just when I want to swap around like artifacts like this. Because now I need a record to save it. That means I need something even better to beat it. But maybe I just want to have all this information so I can compare it. And comparing it easily like this. And not having to do it outside the game. Or by simply writing all this down. Or if you're playing on the computer like me, screenshot it. Like, give us an easier option to manage all this stuff. That would be really amazing and a good quality of life for ace even and high-end spenders where they're trying out different lineups. Would just be cool to have that in-game resource. We don't need to go outside the game to share resources or to save your own. Then we have Supreme Arena. And what can be annoying in Supreme Arena is that the fights are not skippable. So if, for example, if I jump in, maybe I win the first fight, then we jump into the second fight, and I win that fight as well, then there's no point in having the third fight. So once someone won 2 fights, just skip the last fight. There's no need for it. Or at least give us the option and be like, hey, if you lost 2 fights, be like, hey, you've been defeated, do you want to skip? Yes. Or no, if you want to see how the third fight is. Just because you want to try a lineup against someone. And that could be fine as well, where I actually want them to have a pop-up where I can skip the rest of the fight if I lost the 2 first fight or won them. Because there's no point for me to watching the third fight. Or you could just skip it and then get it simulated anyways, perhaps. I don't know. It would just be nice if it was skippable. Let's see. Is there something else I was wondering about when it comes to quality of life? Yes, one huge one. It actually has to do with affinity. What I would like to see at a menu like this with affinity, and then you can have different stages depending on how far you got on with the rewards. It would make it so much easier when you're trying to find new hero to feed affinity to get these rewards. And if you haven't done it yet, make sure to do this, because getting affinity to 1300 gives you some diamonds and an invite letter. So doing this is really important. It gives you resources using the affinity stuff. So why do I want this? Because how it is right now, if I don't remember who I boosted up to 1300 affinity, I need to go in to marry like this, go out, or I don't need to go out that far. Then I need to go in. Oh, 400 max. I need to go next. Oki's max. Warren has his 1300. Walker. Odie's max. Messia is getting pretty far along as well. Like, I have to do this over and over again. Like, please just give us the option to go in like the magic charms and have a menu like this. I don't know how the menu should look, but it would just be nice if they had like different bars beneath them, depending on what reward you have reached. I don't really know how many rewards there is in total. We basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what they could have is just like these heroes, and then beneath they had a bar showing, for example, if you have 1 bar, you have gotten the first diamond reward. You have 2 bars, you have gotten the second diamond reward, and if there's 3 bars, you're gotten the invite letter. Like, that would be so nice. And then you can also just go in and check it and be like, oh, I can boost Darnell, for example. Now I don't know if I have maxed him or not. Done it too. I probably have. Yeah, I have. But it would just be a nice, simple way to keep track of the affinity. Especially now I know I have all of them to 1300. But when you're starting out, it would just be nice to have that. Especially when you come into the season and you start to get a lot of the affinity resources. Some might ask, you don't remember who you have done affinity on? No, I actually don't remember that. And I also have 3 accounts. Now, a lot of people don't run more than 1 account, but I do. And I know on my free-to-play, I don't have a lot of heroes maxed affinity, but I still have to remember who I have and who I don't. So an overall menu or overview for this would be amazing. It would help people out to do it easier and quicker. But that's it for this video. If you have any suggestions on quality of life improvement to the game, drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear more about them and see what you guys think needs a quality of life update. According to the developers, they're checking videos and comments all over the place, so if you can gather them, maybe we can send it forward to the staff later on so they can check it out and see what's possible. Who knows? But as always, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.